Praise God. We have a special opportunity this morning, something neat to see. Kate has partnered up with some great people called the Lisa Project. Sarah's here representing that this morning. They're trainers, basically, God-inspired, Christian-led, training secular people that there is a problem in our society, and it's called child abuse. And how many people when you first hear that child abuse, in your head, what comes up is spanking. Anyone? That was just me? Yeah. I mean, it's this issue that we've had, a real problem, and we've tried to make laws to be able to help with an issue, and we just, made it worse. Shocker. Have we ever done that before in society? Yeah. Take a real problem, make laws that make it worse. Bottom line is, this Lisa Project, there's a talented group of people who are in preparing people and training them to affect our culture in a way that's positive, for good. And this is a training and inspiration of how to recognize and see abuse and then know what you can do about that to help. Because, the biblical solution to this problem is the family, right? There's no doubt about it. That's where the proper training is supposed to come from. That's where all this is right. And guess where the problem is? In the family. So it seems like a problem that can't be solved. But it is solved. Because we have a solution in Christ. But it's just it's a hard issue. Because it's in the culture that we live, they just want to change and redirect what the problem is from what it actually is. So we partner together with the Lisa Project to do our training of our leaders in Royal Family Kids Camp, which have to have this mandated training, and so they're good at it. They've been doing it for a long time. So rather than us trying to learn how to do it to train, it's like, oh, come and train our people. And it's a wonderful partnership, and we're thrilled to have Sarah.
Forevermore. like to, like we do with our camp, with Royal Family Kids Camp, we like to keep in mind those kids that are living lives that we don't have, that are going through abuse in all kinds of different ways, neglect, abandonment, sexual abuse, physical abuse. It's not right that these kids have to go through this, and we're here to try to make a difference for those kids. We're called to do that. God has asked us to do that, and so it's something we try to do. One of the ways we try to do it is through our summer camp for kids. It's an opportunity for those kids to actually get to relax and be a kid and have fun for a little while, to put their worries aside, and to learn that there's a God that loves them and that they're worthy of a better life. And there's lots of other ways that people go through it, through fostering, through adopting. There's so many different things out there. And the Child Abuse Prevention Council, that's their focus, that's their goal, that's what they do all year long, is helping teach people how to become mandated reporters, to recognize abuse when it's happening so that we can try to stop it. And one of their projects that they do is the Lisa Project. And the Lisa Project is true stories of real kids who went through abuse, and they told their stories later. And it's just to bring awareness of what's going on in the world around us. So I hope that you guys will all take a chance to go through it. It moves real quickly. 2 or 3 people can go through at a time together because the rooms are kind of small, but about every 2.5 minutes another group will get to go through. So it moves real fast. So if you're willing to hang out, you'll get to go through it. But I just want to invite Sarah up from the Child Abuse Prevention. She'll kind of explain a little bit about the event, and then we'll get it going, and anybody that's interested can go through. It can be kind of an emotional experience because of the stories that are told, so just a heads up there, but there is Kleenex available. So, but this is Sarah.
Okay, I have notes. When I get in front of people, I forget what I'm going to say. So, but I really want to say thank you for just inviting me and letting me be here this morning. I am with the Child Abuse Prevention Council with Tulare County. We're a nonprofit here in Tulare County. I've been with the organization about 2 years, but I also just want to share that I'm a pastor's wife, and I've been in ministry for over 20 years, and so the church is really, really special to me. I love the church. So to be able to combine both of these together is just a passion, and so I'm just really thankful for this morning to be invited. I was sharing yesterday with your pastor and with Kate that this is the first church that has brought the Lisa Project in Tulare County. So thank you. So Kate and I met through Zoom. so we've had relationships building through Zoom over the past couple of years. But when I found out, and Amanda, our executive director, found out what Kate did with the camp, we thought, well, this is, why haven't we connected before? This is a natural partnership. Because with the Child Abuse Prevention Council, like Kate said, we educate on child abuse prevention. Our goal is strengthening families and to prevent abuse. Nobody likes to talk about child abuse. You know, it's a very difficult subject, but it is everybody's responsibility. And so, in the church, there's so much that we can do as the church. We are often first responders, is how I like to think of it. When families are hurting, when your community is hurting, you show up. And so, in this area as well, you show up. And so, thank you for doing that. So, I've been with the Lisa Project, like I said, now for about 1.5 years, 2 years. And and this is why the connection is so important to me with the camp, is because there's a girl in the community that she was a foster child. She was in many foster homes, and she volunteers with me with the Lisa Project. And it was in January, she told me when she was going through, we were setting up, and she goes, this is my story. Every one of these things in here happened to me, either as in her biological families or in some of her foster homes as well. This is her story. And then I was telling her, I said, we're going to be doing this for the camp. We're going to be using this for volunteers and training and educating. And she said, I went to that camp. And it meant so much to her. And I didn't know that, when we were building the project together. And so your camp was part of her resiliency story. That was what has helped her become who she is today. So it's just a really like special connection today. So what is the Lisa Project? The Lisa Project, this is a multi-sensory exhibit. It's children telling you their stories of abuse. These are true stories. They are really difficult, okay? So I just want to tell you that so you know kind of, you can make a decision if you want to go through or not. These are children telling you their experience of abuse. And so you're going to hear, the project was named after a girl named Lisa. You're going to hear her 911 call that she made as a 6-year-old. That's in the first room, and then each room is a different story of different types of abuse. Because of the content, because it is difficult, please don't make yourself go through this. If you feel like today, I really don't want to do that, that's okay, okay? We want to make sure that you make that choice to go through or not. If once you're inside and you're listening and you think, no, I don't want to do this, because you can change your mind when you're inside as well. You just need to take out the audio device and then come back out, and that's okay as well. We're going to send through groups 2 at a time, or 2 to 3. If you want to go through as a family, that's okay. I'm not going to limit that, but it gets a little crowded in those rooms. So we'll start you each group through, and then I'll start you about every 2.5 minutes going through the exhibit. The content, because of the content, this is what's considered like rated PG-13. So if you're 13 and older, you can go through. If you want your child to go through, like if you have a little one, we just won't give them an audio device. They'll just hold your hand and then you can go through. You're just going to be listening to stories and then looking at props. It's not, no one's in there. It's not like a haunted house. I always make sure people know that because they get nervous. You know, this is nervous. It can be, you know, emotional for people. So you're just going to be listening to the stories and then looking at props. Okay.
Hello, my name is Gene Harden. I'm the director of the Lisa Project. We're here in Fresno, California. From time to time, we have had the great ability to take this exhibit from various locations up and down the valley.
By coincidence, as Mr. Harden, who brings the Lisa Project to our community, approached First Five, I happened to be present and thought what the best marriage, the best partnership we could have to have Fresno County Office of Education, Central Unified, and First Five, as well as Regional Community Medical Center, come together through a true collaboration to bring this Lisa Project experience to us, to train our staff, to be aware, to work on prevention of child abuse, because we deal with children in our community day in and day out.
The Lisa Project is an interactive exhibit that we designed to kind of take you off and out of the headlines, beyond those headlines, and get you a little bit more involved with the world of child abuse and child abuse prevention. And we do that through sights, sounds, smells, and kind of an interactive tour through an exhibit with children, basically narrating their stories. If your reaction coming out of that is, wow, I'd really like to help in that endeavor, we point you to resources in the community where you can volunteer and bring along that kind of help, maybe even be a foster parent, maybe even adopt a child. But if your reaction is, wow, that's been some of my experience in the past and I really need help, we also want to provide those resources in the community as well.
Going through the exhibit, I found myself recognizing signs and symptoms that I may have otherwise overlooked, and I know many of my staff members may have overlooked in the past, but now will take more seriously and be motivated to act.
Our primary focus with the Lisa Project is to reach out to a community. We want to raise awareness and educate, but we also want to provide resources to people in each community we go to.